Silverware on offer already? That can't be right, can it? Good evening everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Tuesday the 11th of July 2023 and tonight for the first time this season we're off to the King George V Stadium. It is Guisborough Town versus Marske United in the John Butterfield Trophy. Now as it is a Guisborough home game there is of course no point in doing a travel montage as usual, so going into this game this evening, Guisborough finished 9th in the Northern League Division 1 table last season, while Marske finished 16th in the Northern Premier League Premier Division table. So, two divisions between the two sides, but in terms of the Cleveland area, many would regard this as the original Cleveland derby. There's been some pretty fiery encounters between each other over the years. Of course, Marske are an ex-Northern League side, so used to come up against Guisborough quite frequently, but not so much these days, but they do get together once a year to play this particular game. Now, John Butterfield was the ex-press officer at Guisborough Town, I'm made to believe, sadly passed away a bit too soon a few years ago, so they get together to play this game every year, so it should be a pretty nice evening in that respect, I'd say. Looking forward to seeing how both teams are settling in ahead of the new season. I think Guisborough played a couple of friendlies already. I'm not sure if Marske have or not. Of course, Marske don't actually start their season until the 12th of August, I believe, whereas Guisborough start their season proper at the end of the month. So I'd imagine Guisborough might be a bit further along in terms of pre-season training, fitness and what have you, but of course Marske are 2 leagues above them, so you would expect would maybe have that extra bit of quality, but it's always a good game when these two go head to head, so definitely looking forward to it. Let's head on down to the King George V Stadium to find out how it all unfolds. So the team's warming up, Guisborough getting ready just here. I imagine going to be in the traditional red and white this evening, and Marske getting ready in the distance. Not entirely sure what colours they're going to be in tonight. Of course the traditional colours would be yellow, therefore it would not be a colour clash or anything, but we'll soon find out when the players are back on the pitch and ready to start the match. So here they come, and it is blue that Marske are going to be in this evening.
And that's every day. There's one that's behind the counter doing
Right, what are you doing?
Chinese woman in the bloody back doing God knows.
I'm underway. I've been away for a week, but now I'm back.
Symbol again!
Oh. Half-time, Guisborough Town 0, Marske United 0. Some games I go to this season are going to be considerably better than others, but this is very pre-season indeed. lacklustre game of football. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think Guisborough are actually playing quite well. They're knocking the ball about quite well. They've got a couple of shots off, a couple of shots on target. I mean, granted, neither of them were really anything that the keeper would maybe struggle to save, but all the same, there has been positives from their display so far. But as I say, all in all, a very lacklustre game of football. You can tell that it is Maske's first game back. Like, they do look maybe a couple of yards off it still, but obviously there is still time. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half. I'm not sure what the plan is from either side, whether one or both of them will swap their entire 11 around, if you'll see a massive array of substitutions as the second half goes on. But one thing that has to be said from a spectator's perspective anyway is that it most definitely needs to liven up a bit. Disallowed. No, that's not gone in. As good as it's got tonight. Oh, it's in! Well, it's been a dire game, but there has been a goal. Horrible back pass.
Not a good shift though. Hey, are you ready?
End of 90 minutes, because Guisborough 1, Marske United 1, penalties to decide it, I think. So it's Guisborough to go first. How much do you believe in the theory that the teams go first usually win? Let's find out. Well, they're off to the right start. Guisborough's goal getter from last season. Saved. Oh, that is a good penalty, that. Goalkeeper changed side, but so did the kicker. Now Guisborough have to score. Still, match point Marske. This is what's on the line, and this is the guy that can win it for them. He's done it. Full-time Guisborough Town 1, Marske United 1, with Marske United winning 5-4 on penalties. Now, I think it just needs saying that for the vast majority of that game was absolutely dire. I mean, there's no two ways about that, but lo and behold, it did manage to find a couple of goals as the game was drawing to a close. Obviously, Guisborough getting the opener, and I think their overall play tonight definitely did deserve a goal. I was actually quite impressed with them, I must say. I think there was most definitely positives from them to take from the overall workout, but then of course a couple of minutes or so from time, a bit of a overhit back pass, and it was a pretty easy finish to get Marske level really. And from there, obviously the game did go to penalties, and I've got to say it was actually a really good penalty shootout. Obviously, Marske managed to score all of theirs, therefore they have won the John Butterfield Trophy. But yeah, I thought some of Guisborough's were actually pretty good as well, especially that one that was absolutely just leathered into the roof of the net. But yeah, Marske claimed the first bit of silverware that I've seen this season. I mean, obviously, like, you'll probably get one or two potentially questioning the legitimacy of it, but all I'm going to say is I know it's a different sport, but the Ashes are only ever contended by the same two teams over and over again, so a bit of food for thought for you. But as was touched upon before they made the presentation at the end of the game, I didn't get any of it on camera, but like, the result isn't really the main sort of thing about why this game is held every year. Of course, it is to remember John Butterfield. I mean, I didn't know him personally, but obviously very dedicated to Guisborough Town, massively helped them out at the darkest hour to save the club from disappearing into oblivion. So rightly remembered, it must be said, and obviously fair play to Marske for agreeing to play the game each and every year. So that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Saturday, and Saturday is actually the first double header of the season, but there is an announcement that I need to make. Obviously in previous years when I've done a double header, I'd just throw both matches into the same video. This year we're doing it a little bit differently. So on Saturday evening I will upload the what I get of my first game of the day between Gateshead and Newcastle United. Then on Sunday morning I will upload my video from Bolden Community Association versus Durham City. So bit of a different way of doing it, but I think it is probably the right step to make, because that way don't take any shine off of the Gateshead against Newcastle game, but also don't take any shine off of the Bolden against Durham game either. They each have their own respective qualities. So 2 uploads for you this weekend, but until then, take care, cheers for watching, and see you later.